Jim, with one of my wisecrackers, sportsman Rick Rudder to my right. Sideshow Todd is on assignment in Detroit, Michigan.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. So, early morning tunage. Today's show is we're going to start off with sports because we have our sports reporter, and with that,
Yeah,
let her rip.
another
what do you got today?
Another beautiful day in Arizona. Mm-hmm. About 80 degrees out there today?
Yeah, it's a little toasty. I got my sweatshirt on, and I thought it was going to be cold.
Yeah, we're both overdressed.
I don't know.
Oh well. Like we start off every week, we do have new sponsors this week, so
Okay.
we'd like to acknowledge them.
Okay.
And it's going to be Southwestern Pools. Tim Belk and his employees do a great job. Mm-hmm. Kind of West Valley, Verado, Pebble Creek, Goodyear.
And how would they get a hold of Southwest?
Oh, he has a website, Southwestern Pools, and or contact our show and we can get you his number. Does some great pool service out on the west side.
That's DammitJim podcast at Gmail.
Yeah.
You can always reach me there. And if you want to come on the show again, you can call us at DammitJim on podcast on Skype.
And I think Tim's going to give us some chlorine for our pools.
Good.
For the summer.
Nothing like a little chlorine.
Yeah, and some tabs, so we're good there. Mm-hmm. And then our second sponsor was new also this week, and your mother-in-law is really going to like this.
Okay.
P.F. Chang's.
P.F. Chang's.
Yep. And they are way in, and they're going to send us chopsticks.
Lots of chopsticks.
Yep.
So those of you who don't know, my mother-in-law is Sticky Finger McGee, and she recently attended a dinner with some seniors, about 15 or 20 of them, and Mamacita came home with about 40 pairs of chopsticks that she acquired. And the irony is that Filipinos don't even use chopsticks. So
Who knew?
She goes to a Chinese restaurant and asks for a fork. But,
Hey, whatever works.
hey, we're locked and loaded on the chopsticks currently.
Okay.
Okay. Any other sponsors this week?
Nope, that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
Looking forward to some better sponsors next week.
Better sponsors. We have a growing list. Obviously, it's a big opportunity for you out there to be a sponsor of the DammitJim Show, and it's not an honor that we give out lightly. So if you have a product or something you like to give us for free, we are for sale.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the linchpin. Now, did you want to talk anything about your rookie contract that we're under negotiations
It's pending.
with? I'm glad that you're here on the show and not holding out.
Right.
I figured you'd be
We did.
on a beach chair.
It was great that you got to meet my agent,
Yeah.
and he's getting some figures together.
Are we naming him by name?
Mo. We'll just call him Mo.
But just call him Mo.
Mo. Yep.
Nothing like an agent. Dealing with athletes, I didn't realize this when I went into the broadcasting business, but athletes are really kind of tough to deal with. As everybody thinks because they can hit a ball, they're a broadcaster all of a sudden.
Right.
And they're all over the place. So we have our own here. Actually, he does a great job. And but what have you got to report on the sports scene? A lot going on right now.
Well,
We've got a lot of...
look what we have here.
We have an
The
official football.
NFL football.
Yeah.
So we have to start with your Bears.
The Bears.
They lost again.
They did.
1 point.
1 point. They're locking up that draft pick. But they did. It was against the vaunted San Francisco Giants.
Right.
So,
Yeah. 49ers, they aren't good, but Garofalo he played okay.
he did look good.
Yeah.
Garofalo looked really good yesterday. I got to say, we're looking at our guy going, man, well, another team with a better quarterback.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Well, here's another thing. If you go back to our last podcast,
our last podcast, yes.
remember we kind of sealed the deal for these guys. Barth, we jinxed him. He got cut. He's gone.
Yep.
So you called that one.
Yep, took care of him. That was
Yep.
good.
And then Andy Reid, we jinxed him too. Now the Chiefs can't beat the Jets.
I know. How about that noise?
And then finally, we're going to go a little bit off of NFL to golf, but Ricky Fowler was in our podcast,
Yeah.
and he shoots 61 and wins by a lot.
Yeah.
At the Bahamas.
Yeah, that was pretty
So
impressive.
we kind of had 3 people that were affected by the podcast. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable.
Oh, so
And then Tiger Woods, we have to mention him real quick. He shot 75, third round. I can shoot 75, but
I can shoot 75 too. That's not a problem.
it depends which hole you put on.
I can get you out of there before breakfast is over if you want. So I don't think that's necessarily a. All right. So it looks like we are live. I just had to double check that we're actually
All right.
live. We are. Hello, everybody.
And it's time for our Super Bowl picks.
Super Bowl picks. Yeah. Well, this is going to get interesting.
Yeah, I'm sticking to mine, even though it's been a while. Falcons. The Falcons are going to get in the playoffs somehow.
You think it's going to be the Falcons and Patriots?
Rematch.
Yeah.
But I called that like 4 weeks ago.
Right. And I've been waffling on my NFC team. I think the Patriots are a lock. I think the only team that can beat them is the Steelers, but the Steelers lost to the Bears. So their capacity for imploding is obviously ripe and ready to go. So I'm gonna have to say Patriots, but I'm gonna make a homer pick now, and I'm gonna go with the Philadelphia Eagles.
All right.
Because outside of just our buddy Joe, Mr. Clean's, what was his Mr. Clean?
That's good enough.
There's more to it though. Well, it doesn't matter. Our buddy Joe, he's a big Eagles fan, and I got a lot of actually friends and colleagues from the Philadelphia area, so I know a lot of Eagles fans. But I mostly just want to see Joe get a win. I was kind of ragging on him last week because they beat the holy crap. They got the Bears kicked off national television. I mean, we're in the middle of the game, and the TV switches over to what they refer to as a competitive game.
That really happened.
That did happen. And then the guy at the bar thought I was yelling at him for changing the channel. I didn't change the channel. No, calm down.
It's on another channel.
Yeah, the national network changed the channel on you because the Bears were that bad.
Yeah. They haven't seen that happen much.
Yeah.
That's why.
And the funny thing was I ran into Dave, not Uncle Dave, but his neighbor Dave. And I was like, yeah, you ever been kicked off national television? He's like, yeah, last week they did it. I was like, oh, man. So I already had a brother to bleed and cry. So my pick is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to go in with Mr. Clean, and I honestly hope that they monkey stomp all the way and take that ring. I don't think Brady needs another one.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah.
That's what Joe says.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so we got our picks in, folks.
So I guess big weekend, the Final Four for college. They
I
picked
know.
that.
How about that? There's some angry Ohio State fans right now.
All right.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's the four best teams are in there, but USC and Ohio State won their conference, championship, the game.
Yep.
And Alabama didn't play in one.
Yep.
So there's your argument.
There's your argument.
But I still think Alabama's pretty good.
Well, I think that what the committee did, and I was listening to Rosilio today, and he was like, look, they just looked at the teams and they said, we're going to pick the four best teams. In our opinion, who are the four best teams that should be in this playoff. And it doesn't really matter so much, all these other little details. Like, no, they just care about putting the four best teams. And that's their criteria. Apparently, they have no hard criteria because they never want to get boxed into a corner. And like, well, you have to put in Ohio State. They can just go, no, we just don't think they're very good. So we're going to put in Alabama instead. I do think that this is the strong argument, and I've had this argument since they started this whole conversation, is that it has to be an 8-team playoff. Because football's too important, college football's too important, Division I, and if you have 8 teams, I think that you can pretty much guarantee you've got the best teams in the mix. You can pick 8 teams. Now, you might miss one every few, but hey, you know what? At some point, you got to draw a line. But 4 is clearly not enough. Never has been. Because you just don't know if these are the 4 best teams. Obviously, we're already talking about 5 and 6, and plus, it's any given Sunday, Saturday for college. But I'm really a believer that there should be an 8-team playoff. I think it'd be bigger than the Final Four for basketball if they did it. And I'm getting text. Very popular. Oh, Man Bun. Man Bun's made a comment on the live stream.
Wow.
So we should see if I can find it.
Also, maybe Ohio State last year, they played here in the Final Four. I was there against Clemson, and they still haven't scored. So it was like 38-0, 35-0 or something. So maybe that had something to do with it too.
All right. Where are the comments? Let me watch this live now. Trying to see if I can find your comment. This is really well, I think the theme, we suck at this, right? So we don't have a production assistant. See,
Yeah.
Melanie, I can't even see you. She's over there.
Yep. We have a live studio audience
We
today.
have a live studio audience. Our marketing genius, Melanie, who's promised to bring us to 20 to 50,000 viewers in the next 2 weeks. So I'm really looking
Maybe
forward
three.
to maybe
Maybe
3.
three.
We did. Oh, you did go over the hump, by the way. Your episode, your debut episode, bumped over the most watched episode this week. You got to 37.
That's why I'm asking such a large contract.
Yes, I understand
it's
because the
coming.
numbers are coming in already.
It's
and,
coming.
So we should.
And
Probably,
it's only a 3-month contract that I'm asking for. So anyway, we'll digress.
We got 2 people watching. Oh, there it is. Can we talk about the Eagles losing to the Seahawks and how bad Big Joe must feel this morning?
I didn't bring that up.
Thanks, Man Bun, for going right
Yeah.
for the heart.
Yeah.
I just was building up the poor
Yeah.
guy after I ripped him on
Yeah.
last week, reminding him that he's never, ever won a Super Bowl. And now you want me to go after the fact that they lost to the Seahawks.
Yep.
The question is, do you think that the Eagles peaked too early? Do you think that the Seahawks are just a tough team and they just had an off week, which is possible?
Eagles are averaging 28 to 30 points a game. They scored 10. Seattle at night, not very easy to play there.
No, and Seattle's got a great defense and a great tradition. So you got to say they probably played up to the Eagles, and the Eagles might have come in a little soft, and it happens. I mean, athletes will say that, "Oh no, I get ready for every game like that's bullshit," and you know it.
Yeah.
There's guys you're scared of and guys you aren't, and so.
And back to college real quick. Arizona State, our Sun Devils, I think they got shipped to the Sun Bowl, which is in El Paso, which is really Mexico. So people don't go to that game. Just be careful.
Be careful.
I think that's what I heard.
Okay. All right. So we've hit a little college football. We've hit a little pro football. What else you got on your list of?
Not much today. As I said the last podcast, I did go to the NHL game, Coyotes.
Yeah.
And I told you about the upper deck and
Yeah.
the dollar hot dogs and dollar beers. It really does happen.
That got your attention, yeah.
It really does happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I highly recommend it.
What kind of beer was it? Do we know?
I'm not quite sure. It was an Amstel Light something.
It was some kind of like knockoff of an Amstel Light, like Amdel Light or something.
Yeah. But it was interesting.
Yeah. Well, it's still a good time, though. Dollar hot dogs, dollar beers.
And speaking of Man Bun, I saw him at the game.
Yeah. He was there.
Yeah.
Canadian. Well, Canadians are.
They love hockey.
Yeah. They're like flies to.
Yeah, it was nice and quiet. It was like, a timeout or something, and I just yelled Man Bun, and the whole place heard it.
Yeah.
So that was good.
So
he knew I was there.
They did that to me once in college. You know what? You can imagine what my nickname would be with my last name.
Right.
I'm going to give you one guess, and if you don't get it, then you're an idiot. So I was walking through the quad, and which is, if you've ever been to college, University of Illinois' quad is huge. It's just this ginormous area. And my buddies, they yelled my nickname across the quad as loud as they could. Not doing it on purpose to get people's attention. They just saw me and they yelled it. And it was at that moment they realized that, oh, I guess tits isn't something you normally yell out loud in a crowded arena.
Everybody was looking around.
Everyone's looking around. Where you got him? Great.
At least you weren't on the beach.
Wait, I remember the first time I walked on a beach that was topless in South Florida. I didn't know it was topless until the moment that I saw that it was topless. So
never been to one of those.
Yeah, I got some dirty looks. It wasn't as I was staring in shock, and apparently you're not supposed to do that.
What part of Florida was this?
This was in South Beach. You never been to South Beach?
I've been there.
Yeah,
but not on the beach.
It's very European. They're very naked.
Yeah,
very, very, very naked.
Yeah,
very beautiful.
I saw South Beach, but I never saw the beach.
Oh, yeah. Well, you saw the other part, like where the Clevelander is, and all
yes,
that.
Clevelander. I was there.
I know.
I was definitely there.
I went out on a limb there, I guess.
Yeah.
So, do we have any questions from our studio audience? Is there any topics you'd like us to cover today? Anything you'd like to know about the great DammitJim podcast? Or
no questions?
Well, you're talking. I was absorbed with the Pomeranian.
Yep.
She's all into Baby Bear, my little dog, Baby Bear.
Baby Bear's looking very comfortable.
Is she? I can't see her from here.
So the football, is that always a standard, a staple?
The football.
This week.
This week?
We're talking the football. Oh no, this in the shot.
It's football, yeah.
Yeah, that was just we just got in there
That
this
was
week.
new. Because we always start with the Bears.
Yeah. So we go into the Bears, and then we've had different props too. Obviously, when Sideshow's here, we do a lot more political conversations, and so we have different props there. We have more of the. Actually, we thought about what would be cool would be to get a Hunter S. Thompson bobblehead for the front of the production table.
All right.
That would be cool.
Maybe my agent, he has a bobblehead too.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Mo. See, I suck at this. I've outed everybody that I'm trying to keep secret. I've outed like within 10 minutes of bringing them on the show.
But that's why we say we suck.
That's why the FBI is like, no, we don't really have any openings for you. You're like the worst undercover officer ever.
I used the real name again.
Did you just invite the guy's daughter to the policeman's ball? Damn it. All right. Agenda. Going down the agenda. What else we got today?
Hitting baseball real quick.
Baseball.
Aaron Boone.
Yeah, manager of the
Yankees.
New York Yankees.
Did you see that coming?
No.
Me either.
No. And then Herm Edwards came.
Herm Edwards.
That's. I mean, we're talking coaching now.
Yeah.
Coming out of the booth to go coach ASU. How you feel about that one?
I don't like that one.
You don't like that one?
Nope.
You play to win the game.
Way to win the game.
He's a great speech giver.
Yeah. No, he can dress the part. He's just older.
He's just older, and I think the game passes these guys by a lot quicker than they realize. You know, it's like the game evolves, and all you have is these with the ability with the tape and all of the technological assets they have now, they can review things in such detail that the game is moving exponentially, getting more complicated. Because now they have the ability to really look into this stuff. So you get a guy like Herm Edwards who's been on the news, and you got to wonder what is he bringing to the table in terms of football knowledge. I mean, obviously he has a ton of football knowledge. He's a Hall of Fame. He was a Hall of Famer as a player?
Defensive back?
Yeah, was he?
I
can't recall if he made the Hall of Fame, but whatever. He's way up the food chain when it comes to intellectual intelligence. I mean, football intelligence. But whether or not he has a coaching scheme, or even more important, the ability to recruit. I think, as a recruiter, he's probably going to be a pretty good bet because he's such a big name. That's got to help.
Except you have other coaches saying, "Oh yeah, I've been coaching for 7 years, 10 years." He's going to go in and say, "Yeah, you saw me on ESPN."
Yeah, and at that level, these kids are seeing all the best coaches in the league.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We'll see.
I just always feel like ASU, because of where they're located, they're always going to be a 7-5. Well, not 7-5, but
Whatever. Close enough.
Middle of the pack kind of team. They'll have a couple of good years, they'll have a couple of bad years, but I don't think the great players want to come to ASU. Not when California's right down the street.
USC, UCLA.
Yeah. It just seems like you're at an unfair recruiting
know.
situation, which is why I'm going to become a Hawaii Rainbow Warrior.
Yeah. The tickets come in yet?
Well, no, I have.
You're going to go buy them there?
I'm going to go buy them there. I'm going to walk up and see what it's like.
All right.
Go to the Aloha Bowl. It's not far from the house, so I drive past it all the time.
Nice.
Just got to figure out how to get there.
All right.
So that was baseball. One thing on baseball.
That's about all I have.
Yeah, that's all you got.
Agenda-wise.
Mm-hmm. Well, the baseball I want to touch on a little bit. We're deep into the big free agents being auctioned off to these different players. So, obviously the Cubs have not solidified anything real. They've tendered some offers to their existing players, but I'm really interested to see in the next week, maybe after Christmas, we'll have a lot more movement in the baseball arena, which could be interesting.
I think so. It's coming.
Then you only got about another month and a half before pitchers and catchers report, and we are back in baseball season. So,
Spring training.
Yeah.
It's coming.
All right. So, what about the golf world? We had the hero thing. How Tiger looked pretty good. You said he shot a 75.
Yeah, three good rounds and one bad one.
Yeah.
Tied for 9th out of 20.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. That's still
So he'll take it. He'll take it.
But he looked good. I guess pulling 4 good games together in a row was hard.
Yeah, I'm not a Tiger fan, but
No.
I guess it's good for golf.
No.
Him being back, I guess.
Well, he's definitely good for golf.
I think so.
They're interviewing some of the players, and they said, "Yeah, I had a gallery of like 2 people, and I'm like in second place in the tournament."
They're all
where is
following
everybody?
him.
They're all following Tiger.
Yep.
They're all following Tiger. He's good for the sport. I think I told you, way back in the day, I worked for Nike. I think I told you this story on air. I don't recall, but anyway, I got to work with the golf division of Nike, and this is back when Tiger was a rookie or maybe 1 year out. And it was maybe 20 dudes in a room with like an overhead projector and a screen. That was the entire Nike golf department.
Yep.
Which then became obviously incredibly huge, and then they just collapsed it once Tiger.
Yeah. As soon as he left, that was pretty much the end of Nike.
Yeah, multi-million-dollar, industry,
Golf-wise.
niche industry for Nike. And it came and went. But I was there when it was started. It was kind of cool. Because we really have not into golf. This is our start. But I do remember stories, maybe you can verify this, where Mickelson was making fun of Tiger for using this shitty-ass equipment that Nike made for him. Like, well, you'd play a lot better if you get some clubs that didn't just completely suck.
I can confirm that.
Yeah, with the Nike clubs that bad?
Yeah. Well, they made different clubs for him than they made for the general public.
Really? They just steal some pings and slap a Nike logo on them?
Probably Titleist something. That's what he was playing before that. But something like that. So he had his own clubs. And then people were buying the Nike clubs, and it just wasn't a good mix.
Right.
But they still sold some clubs.
I'll bet you they did.
Yep, and balls.
Did you ever see that video? Remember when Tiger rolled that putt in? That just like one more
chip.
revolution, it just like boom, falls into the cup, like barely falls in. Did you ever see the spoof ESPN commercial for that?
No.
So they're sitting there, and it's all the marketing guys for Nike, and they're watching it, and they're all sitting there, and then the ball rolls in, and the one guy's, Jesus Christ, for all the money you pay this guy, you think you get the logo straight.
Right. Right. Like the last turn on the ball, you couldn't see the Nike logo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
A little disconnected from reality there.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, if you don't have anything else on the sports docket, then we're going to have to move into some other topics.
Yeah.
Some other place of interest.
Bring it. Do you play? Do you play piano?
Do I play piano? No, my wife does.
Okay.
I'm gonna get on one of those online things. I think I'm gonna start because I always thought I could play piano.
All right.
I tried playing guitar, and I'm a one-handed guitar player. I'm really good with my right hand. Like I can pick, like "Dust in the Wind." I can pick that whole song with my right hand, no problem. This left hand over here is we'll call it the equalizer.
All right.
So, so if this is like an 11, this is like a -3. So when it comes to my guitar playing, I sit right there around 4.
Yeah.
And that's after
I'd stay away
40,
from-
40 years of trying.
Stay away from the guitar.
Yeah, it's
And then maybe you can play piano with just your right hand.
yeah. Well, I mean, I think I could probably play with my left hand a little bit because the keys are bigger. The problem is these big old sausage fingers like crush every. I've never been able to figure out how to hit those. It just sucks.
That's from working in the cannery all those years.
Yeah. Those years in the cannery really beef up the paws. You wind up with these big things. If I could grow fur on them, I'd be like.
Where's coming?
It's a great way to get away from all the hustle and bustle of the Christmas season and the holidays and everybody with their kids, and we just get some aloha time, a little shock of Santa.
All right.
Get a couple of dinners and watch some fireworks.
All right.
We're all set.
What's it like over there Christmas time?
It's
in Hawaii?
interesting because they do this sort of hybrid shock of Santa. He's got to be kind of in flip flops and he's chilling in the beach. They do a big sand sculpture. There's a Sheridan specifically in Waikiki that does these huge sand sculptures all the time. They do a big one of Santa and the elves out in their foyer, and then they've got them all throughout the hotel, and they're pretty badass. And then, they do a little. I think they do a little parade down the street. The first year I was there, they had a little parade. Where they had a little, they basically had a big Samoan playing Santa. It was badass, which is cool. It's hot, it's warm, but it's still Hawaii. So hey.
I mean, you can find plenty of those guys over there to dress the part.
Yeah. There's a lot of big Samoans over there. Mm-hmm. Great people. I think I told you about my trip to the bar there.
No.
The Samoan bar? I never told you this?
No.
So my wife, after her father passed away, she got a tattoo that said father, and it was a very cool tattoo she was getting. To remember her father was kind of a tough loss for her. He kind of got taken quick. So we looked around and we found this place to get the tattoo. And she found where she wanted to go. So I drop her off, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to go grab a beer while you're doing this because, just
Take some time.
So we're like in an industrial area and near Eva Beach in Hawaii, for those who know where that is. And so I walk in and I see this bar. I'm like, okay, cool bar. It's like an auto parts bar because everything is auto, like a shop based. And I walk in the door, and everybody looks at me. All Samoans, every one of them. The women were bigger than the dudes. I mean, these were just huge people. And I'm like, well, I can't just turn tail and run now.
Yeah.
But so I walk in, and I'm like, oh, my God. I mean, and I'm a fairly large human being. I never really feel uncomfortable in a situation, but I'm sitting there looking around going, man, I am below average in terms of the size of people in this room.
And you maybe should have went tanning before you went in there.
Maybe.
To fit in.
Maybe.
Because you kind of have the size.
I got the size, but there's no way
Just a
they
little
didn't know
pale.
I was a haole.
Yeah.
But they all turned and look at me, and I'm like, well, I'm already in the door now. I can't tuck tail and run. That would be insulting, and although it might be wise. But anyway, I go in. Not only did they welcome me, the big dudes moved over, made room for me at the bar without me having to ask at all. Get some crackers to do that. It never happens. And they sit down. They bring me a beer like right away. Hey, brother, welcome. In their sort of like the pigeon accent that they have. And it was the sweetest. And they are huge football fans because it's like 2:00 in the afternoon, but that's when football plays. Like Monday Night Football is at 2:00 in the afternoon, right?
Yeah.
So these guys are going nuts. They're like Steelers fans, and they're like the nicest. Man, I had a great time. I was only there for about an hour, if tops. But it was very cool. I love to go like into neighborhoods and find these little spots. Sometimes I'm worried that maybe I made a wrong turn and I'm going to get in trouble. I had an incident in Chinatown once where I thought I was going to get shanghaied, same kind of thing. But it was cool. I mean, they were so nice and just so welcoming, and we had a great time.
They're very local over there.
They're very local.
They
and,
know
Ohana
who you
family, and they're very friendly for the most part to most folks. They have their stuff too, like anywhere else. But it was really impressive the way that they accepted me and welcomed me in. I'm like, I don't get this at my own bar. People don't get out of the way. Some fat guy taking up 3 stools. And just, hey, can I squeeze in here? And it looks at you like you're bothering him. Don't be so fat.
Yeah.
Is that wrong? I guess it is. But that's some other fun, too. In Chinatown, like I said, I thought I got shanghaied. So I went to Chinatown in Honolulu, or Honolulu, if you want to pronounce it correctly. They're very big on that.
I didn't know they had a Chinatown there.
Oh, they got it's like a real deal Chinatown, too.
Okay.
It's not like some sort of, it actually burned down many years ago. There's a great book by Robert Michener called Hawaii. So it's easy to remember the title, which is basically historical fiction all about Hawaii from like the time of the...
One of my favorite authors.
Oh, Robert Michener? Mm-hmm. You read them, seriously?
No.
I didn't. You can't read, though, right?
Yeah, I read a lot.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
No.
All sports. That's
It's
why
all
I'm here.
sports.
And that's why my agent is going to call you.
Yeah, that's why you don't know there's a Chinatown in... How does that fit into the golf
There's
world?
not a golf course in Chinatown.
No. But there's some awesome bars. I walked into one bar. I swear to God, I walked back in, like, you remember MASH? Remember Rosie's and MASH, the bar from the TV show?
Kind of.
All right, well, just imagine, like, this old 50s kind of thing with they're like, you want a draft or a bottle? I'm going to go with the bottle. Thank you. Call it a judgment call. The bathroom was literally a hole in the floor. Like, there used to be a toilet there. They just kind of chipped out some extra cement and you just went right in the hole. And I got felt up by
The health department.
the health department would have been interested in it. Yeah, I got felt up by I assume a hooker or just a very randy lady.
Could have been from Mesa.
She could have been from Mesa. Yeah, she might have.
They bailed on sponsorship. I called them, but after the last podcast, they said no way.
Did I say some disparaging things
We
about
did
Mesa?
by accident.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
But I think we were just discussing our experiences in Mesa.
Yep.
And
They will not be a sponsor.
I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that, but it's a long ways away. We'll go to Gilbert next.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get Gilbert.
Yeah.
Close enough.
We definitely need some more.
Apache Junction.
Apache Junction. Hey, have they got running water out there now?
I think they just got their first dentist. So
Yeah, he's busy.
they're getting. He's busy.
He's one busy.
Yeah, you might want to call and make an appointment.
That's a good
And
point.
yeah, your teeth are not going to look good for the holidays.
No.
Nope. Maybe next year.
Yeah, that's why you got to think ahead, folks. So good. It's good they got a dentist out there. That's always nice to know. So I feel they're not going to sponsor us either. I'm going to go out on a limb. So we need to get some like Italian food to sponsor us.
All right.
You need need some restaurants and. You ate all the Filibertos. You didn't share anything with anybody, by the way.
Well,
Wherever those breakfast sandwiches
they came.
happened, they came and they went.
Yep. They missed it by a day.
Yeah. You walk in, he's got like grease all over his face and his lips, and they're like, what were you doing? Nothing.
Yeah. I only had 2,
You only had 2. Is that all it?
but that's what they gave us.
Yeah. Well, there's only 2 of us.
That counts.
Yeah. I hope they were delicious.
I think we can count on the chlorine a little better than those burritos.
Yeah, great.
I'll be seeing some chlorine on Wednesday.
What do you do for a living? I clean water. Is what I do.
5 days left.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so before we wrap up today's little podcast here, Sideshow will be back next Saturday. We're going to do another podcast. Hopefully we can have Rudder here, maybe Man Bun.
I'll be out of town.
Oh, that's
next
right. You're going to be out of
Saturday.
town.
Going to North Carolina.
That's right. You're going to be on assignment in North Carolina.
Yep.
And I'm not going to even discuss what you're on assignment for. We don't want to jinx it. We heard the story afterwards when you get back.
Yep.
We're going to hear all about it.
Don't jinx me.
Okay. And some more big news. We're gonna be moving into the official DammitJim studios.
With a retractable roof. That's cool out there.
Yeah, it's a convertible.
Yeah.
And
Next to the pool.
we'll be so this has been kind of the preseason. These Dammit Show podcasts have been sort of the preseason. I think we've sort of got our feet under what's the cliche I'm looking for. We have that cliche. It's done.
Yeah.
So now that we're ready, I think we're going to start with the weekly broadcasts, maybe a little bit more. Hopefully, I can get some more folks to come on. If you are hearing us and you'd like to discuss any topic, we're conversationalists. So we're not really political necessarily. We're not really sports necessarily, but we take all comers.
For sure.
So we'll get back to the politics. There's a lot to talk about there. In fact, the entire world might be a different place by next week. But I guess we'll see. So we're going to hit on that next week. Again, you can reach us at DammitJimPodcast.com. No, not .com. So this has been kind of the preseason. Oops. That was us talking back to each other. Remember when I tell you that I suck at this?
We suck at this.
So the problem is I have to check my feed. So my
But we
feed
are
is-
getting better. Every week.
I don't want to necessarily get any better. I like the fresh.
Yeah.
I went cheap on this computer though, and it's just like slow. but we're gonna hit some walkout tunes.
Very nice. Nice touch.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the DammitJim Show. This is Rick Rudder on Sports. We look forward to seeing you guys next week. Reach out, say hello. If I don't talk to you before then, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, New Year, and all of the above.
See you, everybody.
See ya.